Okay, I got the car up. I got a little nice clearance now, both for the rear differential and for the transmission. So I'm just going to get everything ready. I have my drain pan ready here. I went and picked up all Honda fluids. The only way to really do this is with the Honda fluid. So go with the Honda ATF DW-1 crush washers. And the dealer also recommended for the rear differential to put a can of this. They said every time they service one of these in their dealership, they always put one of these before the fill. So the guy looked pretty honest, pretty knowledgeable, so I'm going with his recommendation. Tools, really just looking for some gloves and 3/8 sockets. I don't expect much difficulty. And then a long funnel for the fill in the transmission. Alright, here we go. I want to show you underneath the car now. And as we go under here, it's a little dark here. Let me restart it, but this is the transmission plug. Alright, here's a better shot. You can see the front wheel, and there is the drain plug for the transmission. So I'm going to get set up, and I'll film again when we're ready to drain. Alright, before I drain the transmission, one thing I did want to do is I did want to check the level of the transmission at essentially what I call ambient conditions. So here is the drain for the dipstick, and I had just wiped this clean. But if I pull this out and I look at it, it looks like the level is right below the lower circle. So if I fill it up, Eric the car guy, thank you so much for all your videos. I would add 3 quarts of transmission fluid, and what I'm going to do is just check to make sure that it's as I fill it, it's pretty much should land close to that bottom hole. I'll check it again once it's hot and I've run the car. Alright, here we go. I think I'm ready to do this. I got the drain pan here. I have a 3/8 socket. All you need is a 3/8 socket, and that actually fits really snug with very little to no play. So that is good. And that is on there. I want to give myself a little more leverage. Oh my gosh, I cannot get that out right now. Okay, I finally broke. Holy smokes, that was on there really tight. The last time I had this done was at the dealership. And boy, I could tell that they really put that on super tight. Okay, here we go. I'll roll my sleeve up so I don't get too much of this on. And here we go. Okay, and the color is still pretty red, which is good. I'm glad that it's not showing signs of heavy wear. I'm going to clean the plug, which is a magnet. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go up top and I'm going to remove the dipstick so that it drains faster. And the crush washer is loose here, so I'm going to go get the new one and I'm going to replace that as well. So far so good. Alright, the transmission fluid is still draining. So you can see there's just a small trickle. So that while that goes, I'm going to prep over here. I bought 4 quarts of the transmission fluid just in case I need a little more than 3. But this is actually in really good shape. The threads are clean. There's really nothing wrong with this plug. It's actually in really good shape, even though it was really hard to get off. And feeling the dealership over tightened it, and this crush washer is actually mushroomed. Okay, I did buy a bag of 5, so I'll have them for the next time that I need them. That is the right size. I don't know if it matters which way they go. It's just going to crush. I'm going to put the smooth side to the case. Alright, and this guy we'll throw out later. Okay, I think we're essentially almost done here, so I'm going to put the plug back on, and then we'll be ready to fill. Okay, it's time to put the plug back in, lubricate the threads with a little bit of transmission oil, and I'm going to start this by hand. Okay, now I'm going to clean that up with a rag, push this tub out of the way so that I don't spill it. Okay. Alright, and in case anybody's wondering, this is a Husky 3/8 ratchet that I picked up. I was inspired by Eric, the car guy. He had one of these and it looked really handy. And this is something just cinched down tight. That's all that it takes. Alright, time for fill. Alright, it's time for the fill. I got the plug in there. So now I do have a long funnel, a long reach funnel, and I'm trying to show you where it goes in. It's a little tricky to see. But you can see it down there. I got the flashlight on there, but this is a straight shot, so we should be good to go. Alright, and now I'm just going to add 3 quarts of transmission oil. Again, you have to use the Honda transmission fluid. There's an old version of this, I think it was a Z1. This is now the most current version, ATF DW-1. So, one more time, I'm just going to make sure that my funnel is in there. And we will work on 3 quarts. One. That's 2. I'm going to let that sit for a little while, and then I'm going to check the level again with the dipstick. While this sits, I'm going to start working on the rear differential. Alright, time to check the level of the transmission. So, I've got this nice and clean. And as you recall, I checked this before I drained it. The level was right below the bottom hole. There are 2 holes on the dipstick. And this one is right below the hole, just like I found it before I changed it. So I will check it again once I've taken it for a ride and the transmission oil is warm. But pretty much at this point I feel pretty confident that I've replaced exactly what I took out. When I check it hot, I'll just make sure that it's in the recommended level per the owner's manual. Alright, so that wraps up the 2008 Honda CRV transmission change and the rear differential change, and this is what I used. I used a 3/8 socket to break free the bolts. This one is one of my favorites now. It's extended in terms of getting more leverage. It pivots. So 3/8 socket. I have one extra transmission fluid quart over there that I'll use for next time. These are the 3 waste ones. I used the long funnel to fill it. I used my black drain pan to collect it, the yellow funnel to fill the waste into the original containers. 1 rag for the transmission fluid, 1 rag for the rear differential. And then for the rear differential, I really just wound up using that adapter on the containers. And that really worked really well. It turns on and off. And then that little blue and white adapter I used for the gear treatment, multi-gear concentrate that the dealer recommended. So this is it. It was a pretty simple job. Probably took me, I'll say an hour and a half. I did take my time, I didn't rush. And just want to make sure that it's done well. And that wraps it up. Hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you have questions, post comments, and I will do my best to respond. Thanks.